Right, g'day everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while since I've done one of these shed reviews. New little gun I picked up the other day. It's a ZASTAVA M-85, chambered this time in 22 Hornet. The yes, much maligned 22 Hornet seems to be making something of a resurgence of late, and I thought I'd get on board. Now, there's a lot of rubbish 22 Hornets around, a lot of rubbish on the second-hand market. No magazines and old dungers, and you've really got to look to find something half decent. Anyway, I finished up coming across this. This is a brand newie. This is the last one I could find. I tried every gun shop up the east of Australia. I could not find one of these. I found the very last one of these out at Schoolers Firearms at Chinchilla. And I thought, well, I better go out and grab it, and a lot of driving and that, but such is life. And absolutely lovely little rifle to look at. So what we'll do first, we'll she's clear. Right, we'll go for a quick run by the rifle. We'll start down the back end. That's a nice firm enough recoil pad. You don't need a recoil pad for this. That's more just to stop it sliding out of your shirt and that. Now, if you have a look, the quality of craftsmanship on these is really good. Like as you go along, you'll see this is a really nice piece of wood, really nice. I'll flip that over, flip that around. Really nice Monte Carlo stock there, and nice kick down at the front. I mean, and they make these actually anything in up to the big centerfire calibers, so they're not a bad rifle. ZASTAVA have been making good rifles for years. They're a Serbian rifle, and they make it for the military over there. And as you go through these, you can feel they're really robust. Like around the bolt and the action and all that, really robust. That's a mini Mauser action, but we'll come back to that. So as you go along, we've got a swivel stud at the back, sling swivel at the back rather. Go along the front there, there's your little Mauser bolt there. 5-shot detachable magazine, flip up sight, fold down sights, 22-inch barrel, 1 in 16 twist, and we go to a little front sight at the front. And at the front, we've got a nice little recessed crown. So, as I say, the craftsmanship on these things is really good. Like a lot of people, oh no, they can't be any good, they're from Serbia. Yeah, rubbish, they've been making good guns for years. And all these European guns, Anschuts, Brunos, ZASTAVA, all that, they've been making guns for forever. Absolutely forever, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. So what we'll do is have a look at a few little features of the gun before I pull it to pieces, because there were a few tiny niggly little issues, niggly stuff that we were able to fix easily. So that bolt is a little bit sloppy, not the end of the world. We have a 2-stage safety, back locks everything, and front unlock. That's a little bit stiff, that'll wear in. And we've adjusted the trigger down to about 2 to 2.5 pound. That trigger's similar in look to a Howe 1500 standard hack trigger, different animal altogether. Now your 5-shot detachable magazine drops out from the bottom like that. And that's got its own little feature we'll show you in a minute. But this one here, I'll put that back in so you can see this. The magazine release on the trigger guard there, it's ambidextrous. You can push it that way or that way. So left-handed or right-handed, if that's how you operate it, it's just another little tiny little feature these rifles have got. And we'll drop that out. And your magazine, your bolt release. No one pulling the trigger. You just pull the magazine, the bolt race catch back, and out she comes. And you put him back in. You can force him in, or you can just hold him open. He's fine. So we'll pull him out. And there we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'll get this thing to pieces. Oh, I forgot to tell you, it's 1,060mm long, 22-inch barrel, 1 in 16 twist, and it weighs just a dot under 7 pound. Dot under 7 pound. It's like 3.168 kilos or something. With in the timber stock, as is where it is. No, that's magazine bolt in, no ammunition, what you call a dry weight. So I'll get this thing to pieces and we'll have a look at a few minor little issues that we had to fix with this, and I'll be back in a sec. Righto, we are back, we're in pieces. Stock, first up. As you can see, really nice piece of timber that. There's really not much you can really fault in that. Nice checkering and all that. As I said before, you fit to your recoil pads really good. nice pistol grip. But okay, first couple of little issues. Barrel wasn't floating, so I had to get in there and sand that, sand the barrel channel out. That's pretty good, it's as good as I want to get it. I got into it with a piece of paper, a piece of sandpaper and a bit of dowel. I'm not going to get in with that file sander, that just tears too much out. And it doesn't come up round, it comes up all square at the end, so we can't have that. And these stocks are actually pillar bedded from the factory, but these pillars started to move. They were sort of moving up and down, so I pulled them out, cleaned everything up, and I bedded them back in there with JB Weld. 2-part epoxy. That's not bad stuff, that's pretty good. Now, if you're gonna do that, it's not the hardest job you'll ever do. I wish I'd done a video on it now. It's not the hardest job you'll ever do. There's a lot of good ones on YouTube. That's the stuff. You spray everything you're gonna screw up, put up against anything with that JB Weld, anything, your action, your bottom metal, and you absolutely cover it in this stuff. It washes off with acetone, it won't hurt anything. Even on the screw threads, that when you screw everything down for the final the final overnight setting, everything cover it in that one shot. Same stuff you use case lube when you're doing when you're reloading and you're doing resizing. Spray it with that. This is best release agent around. Okay, really solid little Mauser type bolt, Mauser type claw extractor. Very solid, very solid. And again, that's the way ZASTAVA make their rifles. They're all like that. Even the big ones are all, they're very meaty through the action, like so. They're a good, robust military style action that won't break in the field. And our 5-shot magazine. Now you'll see a little silver button on the side of it. I'll show you what this is for. Just make myself a bit of room. See that? Ammunition. You load them in like that. Yeah, painful. Easy way. Grab hold of that silver button, and then I'll pull the spring down. Just drop them in like that. Now the 5th one is always a hard one to load. Boom, easy. That is as easy as it's going to get with a 5-shot magazine. Easy as it's going to get. So that's just another little user-friendly feature, if you like, that they've got on this. Maybe other manufacturers do that. I don't know, but that's a really good little feature. I do like that. So I've got to give this thing a really good clean, because as you can see, it's all still got one-shot and shit all over it. So I'll give it a good clean up, put it back together, and then we'll just discuss another little issue with scope mounting. But we'll come back to that later. So see you soon. Right, we're back. She's all back together. She was stripped, gave it a good clean, because as is with a lot of rifles you buy, very little lubrication on them, quite dry around the internal. So we've given it a good clean up, got all the like packing grease and shit you get on them, get rid of all of that, and gave it a good lube where it needs to be lubed. As I said before, I've done the trigger and got that down to about 2.5 pound, and that's nice. Not the smoothest trigger in the world, but it's quite fine for me. And she's back together. Pillar issues sorted, barrel floating nicely, and I think we can all agree it's a very nice looking rifle. All the fit, I like the way everything fits together. It's a lovely piece of timber. There's no question about that, without being overstated. So here we go. We'll do a quick function test. That works. Nothing bind up. Cock it. Safety works. Yeah, safety all works. Look at that. Magazine drops out. Where are we? Drops out that side. Find the hole. Get up in there. You just got to hit him a bit hard. Drops out both ways. And there we go. So she's all working. And now we're going to mount a scope on it. Now this is where we did also run into a little bit of an issue. We've got a dovetail mount machined into the top of the receiver. Okay, so we don't have the flexibility of a Picatinny rail to move a scope backwards and forwards to suit the particular rifle, particular shooter, eye relief, etc. So your parameters of movement with a dovetail are a hell of a lot less. So we've got to work with that. So there's our first big issue there, incredibly high bolt throw. Okay, so I watched a few reviews on these and I knew I'd have to go for high rings on this because what I wanted to put originally to put on it was this Nico Sterling Panamax 4.5 to 14 by 15 adjustable objective. Nice, really nice garden variety scope. Absolutely nothing wrong with these. People should can them and I really don't know why. And we're going to put on a set of high profile AccuShot UTG dovetail rings. We've got them, we'll put all this on, but we ran into an issue, so I'm going to mount this scope up and I'll show you the issue that we've run into, so I'll come back. Righto, I've mounted our rings on, and I've only done a dummy fit. These aren't screwed down properly, these are just snug so for the purposes of the demonstration. Now, these aren't bad rings actually. Just going to digress for a moment. I'll get in there, UTG AccuShot scope rings. Chinese brand, but they're all right. I mean, you're not dealing with a big recoiling rifle, and they're a dovetail ring, but they as you can see, they've got 4 securing screws for the caps, and you get your Allen keys to do it with, but you also get a spare cap screw, you get a spare clamp screw, and they get these little recoil retainer or whatever they call it in there. You get a spare one of them too. So it's not a bad little package for 50 bucks out of the shops. You might be able to get them on Fleabay, who knows. But I've digressed. Right. Here's our scope. Now, you're not going to see too much here because it's all on close up, but I want to put that on there. Now these rings are as far back as I could possibly get them. So your problem is, okay, I'll go that way first. Go that way first. I haven't got the scope secured in the mount, so it's got to be careful. Plenty of room up there, not an issue there at all. Make that up a little bit, there we go. You're not touching the scope anywhere there at all, so that's fine. But, this is the big but, around to this little pop-up front sight here. There we be. And can you go on there? See? He touches. You can't get the scope back far enough. I'll take it around that angle there, see if we can get a better look at this. He is touching. Oh, so slightly, but he's touching enough. And you clamp him down, he's going to touch on that, and yeah, no good. Now, I could, bring him back here, move the camera around a bit. I'll take the scope out. I could knock that whole front sight set up. I think it's 2 little screws. It'll come out, that whole front sight setup. But you knock that off and the rifle starts to look cheap, and it starts to look broken and beaten up and incomplete in that. So I'm not going to do that because I like the look of this rifle and I want to keep it as original as possible. So we've got to go to a plan B, unfortunately. So see how we go. Righto, plan B. We've got ourselves another Nico Sterling scope, a Panamax 3 to 9 by 40. I've got another one of them, and nothing wrong with them. Absolutely nothing wrong with those. And we've got some medium UTG AccuShot rings. Same setup as the other one. You get the little spare bits and pieces here and there, and they're just a medium height, little dovetail mount. So we'll put this on and we'll see how we go. I have dummy fitted this up. I do like this better, so we'll come back shortly. All right, plan B scope, on she goes. Let's have a look. And she sits in there nicely. Yep, that's all fine. Now, admittedly, I haven't adjusted the eye relief or anything. First, now, there's our bolt throat. See how this is. This is going to be a bit close, but it's all right. You just be careful about it. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So that's okay. I'm happy with that. Yep, that's fine. It's not touching the scope at all. No, not even close. So we're good with that. Well, we're nowhere near the front sight there. We could push that up as far as that can go because you don't want to touch the end of the scopes. And yeah, that's not even close. So we'll get away with this one. Now, I would say that's going to finish up somewhere about there. If I had to have a guess, it's going to be somewhere about there. But I'm going to move that around, set the eye relief now, and then we'll have one last look. Rightio, the ZASTAVA M-85 in 22 Hornet. Done and dusted, she's all back together, scopes on, come up real nice, Now that's, as I said earlier, that's a bit close, but that is not an issue. That is not an issue at all. That's fine. And it's quite, even though they're very large front sights and all that, and when that's even standing up, you don't even see that even on minimum 3x power. You don't even see that, so that's fine. That's fine. I do like the Nico Sterling scopes. They've got quite a substantial field of view, and they're priced just right, and they've got a pretty decent warranty and all that. So there we go. All right, let's put this one to bed. As I stated earlier, I got this one from Schoolers Firearms Chinchilla in Queensland. As far as I'm aware, this was the last brand new one in captivity, at least up the east coast of Australia. I couldn't find anywhere else, and so I can consider myself pretty lucky that I got the last one. And as we've stated, they're a pretty nice looking rifle. So we put our Nico Sterling scope on. We've got our UTG AccuShot rings, a scope, and we'll cover the scope with the old Flea neoprene scope cover. So let's put this one to bed. I like it. These are, and they're an interesting caliber, and they seem to be making some sort of a resurgence. And I remember years ago, everybody's grandfather or old uncle had one of these lying around in the back cupboard somewhere that they used to do whatever with. Quite often an old Sportco rifle or something like that, and there's still a few of them around. But anyway, I digress. I cannot wait to get this thing out to the range. I've got some factory ammunition to run the barrel in, sight it in, and I've done a bit of reloading. But we'll talk about that once we get to the range. So that's it. I hope you found some information out of this, and I hope you got something out of it. I like making it, and if you liked it, give the video a like, subscribe to my channel, that'd be really good. Even if you want to throw me some money, that'd be super. So until next time, you can tell your wife, you can tell your girlfriend, you can tell them both. It don't matter to me, just go 2 clicks up. Ta-da.